Hola, ¿qué tal chicos? Bienvenidos a un nuevo video. Mi nombre es Samuel.
Y el mío, Paola.
Y bueno, hoy le traemos un video súper informativo para todos aquellos que estén interesados en la vida acá en Europa. Queremos darle muchos tips de cómo venir hasta acá.
Sí, es que muchos nos preguntamos cómo hacemos para migrar a estos países. Son muchas las preguntas que surgen en las redes y precisamente el contenido de hoy va a ser referente a eso. Así que no se lo pierdan.
Algunas preguntas de cómo es venir a Polonia, cómo venir a trabajar acá en Polonia, y para eso tenemos la ayuda de Carolina. Ella nos va a estar ayudando el día de hoy. De hecho, ella está llevando nuestro proceso de documentación aquí en Polonia para estar legalmente. Bueno, introduce yourself.
Hello guys, yo entiendo casi todo en español, pero todavía no puedo hablar, ¿sí? So I will switch to English and I'll be talking to you in English. I'm a legal advisor due to the immigration law and administration law in Poland, and that through all the matters related to your legal stay and legal job in Poland. This is my specialization. So I will try to respond all the questions somewhat.
You're my hero. You're my hero, actually.
Yeah, pretty often I can hear it from people, actually.
Well, so basically it's because I was wondering, sometimes when we are in Latin America, we're really interested in coming to here to, well, in this case, Poland. It's basically like a dream coming here and work in Poland, in Europe. Come here, it's the best life. But the thing here, or the big question is, how can I go to in this case, to Poland and work legally? So I'm able to come in here and get a job. Meanwhile, I'm abroad. Sorry.
This is one of the common questions, and this European dream in Latin America is kind of becoming difficult. Why? So yes, you can come to Europe, to Poland, while you don't have any kind of visa, because most of Latin countries has this possibility to use your 90 days free visa trial just to come to Europe without any specific reason, without any specific papers. And pretty often people use this opportunity. I have 90 days, I will go, I will find a job, I will just stay. And then they hit the reality, because actually, when you people are coming here, no matter from where, from which country, because actually it's not only about Latin America. You are coming here and then you have only 3 months, because when you hit this bureaucracy, especially in Poland, while you are waiting to get any kind of paper, any kind of permission, it's take 7 months, 10 months of waiting, then you are becoming illegal in one point. So the idea is...
It's a really long process, right?
Long process. So the idea is, okay, I will come, I will find a job. And then nobody wants to hire you, because every company to hire you needs to get some kind of permission. And to get this permission, they are waiting 3, 4, 5 months.
Okay.
What to do? Just one tip here, and this is very expensive tip. People pay a lot of money to get this tip, okay? Whenever you come to Poland, just please start the process. Just apply for your resident permit anytime you come here. Just take any kind of consultation with any kind of legal advisor and lawyer or whatever. Apply for your resident permit.
So
why?
The best of that advice is basically, as soon as you get in here, you need to start with the whole process for the residents here in Poland, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
No matter what's the plan.
And now I was wondering, so sometimes when we are abroad in Latin America, we saw some, post on Facebook, this companies, hey, come here, I'm gonna give you all the documents. Actually, they pay the tickets to come here. No worries, this is the best place to work. Is that real or not?
You know, I heard once a story, like a joke, that if you go to any Latin country and stand on the street with a billboard says that I have work in Europe, you will find thousands of people at the same moment.
That's right.
But then again, reality. Yes, it is possible to find a job while you are still there in your country, but you have to watch out, because I would say, based on my own experience, 50% of these companies, agencies, work agencies, these agents who offers the job, this is just the beep bullshit. Why? They are cheating people. They want you to come, they are able to pay your tickets, they are telling you, oh, we will do all your papers, but then they do nothing. You are coming with this 90 days and you have not even a clue that actually you are becoming here illegally. But what is worse, they are coming and they start to work like slaves.
It's not so nice like they say on the post, right?
Never.
Most of the time.
Never. I can tell you the stories that some people are coming here and they are working 12, 14 hours, 7 days per day, and they are paid almost nothing. Or those agencies want them to work for 3 months for free so they can pay off those tickets and everything.
So basically, we need to be really careful and choosing the company that's gonna give you all this possibility, right?
Very careful. And now, how to check if the job is real, if the agency is real?
Yeah, actually, is there any way to check how it's possible? If it's a reliable company or not?
Of course. Ask the company, what is my employer? Please give me the name of the company and all the registration data, like address, any kind of tax number. Check on the internet if this company exists, if this place exists, for how long it exists. Actually, Google will tell you everything. Okay, if you type the name and the address of the company on the Google, it will show you this company exists for 3 months, for example. You should be suspicious at that point. Or there is a lot of groups on Facebook, like Facebook, WhatsApp, Telegram, like Latinos in Polonia, for example.
Yeah.
Ask people, hey guys, have you ever heard about this company? People are always there pretty helpful. You should be always suspicious about this kind of offers, magical offers you are getting. You will have the best job, the best money, you will be legal. There is something behind that usually. Okay, be very careful.
Hay que ser muy cuidadoso con eso.
Sí.
Okay, what should be next question? Because there's a lot of details here.
There is a lot of details, but I just want to say one thing, because we said previously, apply for your resident permit whenever you come here. Why? It's because as long as you are in the process, you are legal. So the matter is to buy a time for yourself, to find a job, to find a university. And now watch out, if you think that you would come here and find a Polish beautiful wife and get married and stay legal here. No, it's not that easy anymore. Especially that even if you are getting married here or staying in a relationship with a Polish person, it doesn't make you automatically legal. You still have to go through the process, months of the process.
Actually, it's the same situation for me right now. Me and my wife, we are still in the process. We arrived here almost 1 year ago. Llegamos hace casi un año acá y aún estamos en el proceso. We are still legal here because we are in the process right now, right?
Yes,
it's
exactly.
the same situation for us.
Exactly.
So basically, as soon as you apply for the residence, you earn time. It's basically that, right?
Exactly. Sometimes the matter is to buy the time. That's true.
Great. So, next question, a really important question. I heard something about trafficking people. Well, it's not just in Poland, whole Europe. But in this case, we're talking about Poland. What about that?
So, remember we were just talking about fake agencies who are trying to bring people, but actually they are cheating people, bringing them here, and then they want them to work like slaves. So sometimes people decide to do it because then they are coming to Poland and they introduce themselves as enemies of trafficking people. You can even get some kind of humanitarian resident permit in Poland in case if you were one of the people who came here with this kind of fake agencies. Sometimes people, like different agents, offer you to find universities, not universities in Poland. Then you are coming and realizing that there is actually nothing. Okay, you just came and you've been cheated. Sometimes people are paying ridiculous money also to do it.
Wow.
Then you should understand that what they did is actually trafficking people. If you are in such a situation, I would recommend you to apply for resident permit in Poland as a just being, you know, trafficked. That's
yeah, like humanitarian.
Exactly.
Okay, got it. So that's the reason why it's really important. First of all, when you are abroad and you get this offer job, first of all, you need to check all the details about the company and everything to avoid this kind of situations. It's a really hard situation having this. Actually, I know like a history for a really close friend, which has this situation. He and his family had this situation. It was really hard for them, you know, to get all the documents and be legal here after this, because this company basically does just cheat on them.
I have a bunch of clients like that who came here with this kind of fake agencies, and they just one night called me and told me we have no place to stay, we have no eat, no food, no money, no job, no nothing. Please help us, okay? Because they are simply running away later on from these places. What is worse, they never know, they never realize that actually they became illegally in Poland, and then to fix the situation while you actually became illegal is very hard.
Ahora pueden ver toda esa fila que está acá de gente haciendo su proceso migratorio. Bueno, hemos venido aquí a la oficina de migración y casualmente nos hemos conseguido a este compatriota venezolano. Por cierto, está muy feliz porque ya pudo obtener su residencia acá. Y pues básicamente, Moisés, nos gustaría saber un poco de tu experiencia. ¿Qué tal fue el asunto? Sé que es un proceso burocrático muy difícil, pero ¿qué tal te pareció?
Uno de los más difíciles de Europa, la verdad. Aquí es muy difícil conseguir los papeles. Yo, gracias a Dios, bueno, después de 6 años, voy teniendo la residencia ya por tercera vez y por 3 años. Pero en el proceso me ha pasado de todo. Hasta me han deportado una vez.
Wow.
Aparentemente la respuesta me la habían dado negativa durante la pandemia, nunca me enteré, estuve ilegal 1 año.
Wow.
Y bueno, mira, te vamos a tener que deportar. Entonces yo me ofrecí, yo me quiero ir, ¿ya? Me dieron la mínima sentencia. Pasé 6 meses fuera, regresé, empecé a meter los papeles todo en orden para casarme, regresé como turista, por supuesto. O sea, casarse es otro pedo complicadísimo.
Pero en tu caso, tu esposa es venezolana.
Ella es polaca. Y eso
Polaca.
No importa que si tú tienes hijos, que eso no importa nada. Si tú no tienes tus papeles en regla, aquí no puedes ni estudiar, no puedes trabajar, no puedes ni siquiera estar legal, no puedes salir del país, nada. Bueno, el asunto es que pasé lo corto, metí los papeles para el matrimonio, que también tardó 1 año en que me dieran la respuesta. Al año de yo regresar, me caso, estamos hablando de hace 1 año. Después de casarme, inmediatamente apliqué para la residencia de casado, que me da permiso de trabajo y todo como tiene que ser, y apenas aquí la estoy retirando.
O sea que hoy, básicamente después de, digamos, unos 8 meses casi.
Por ahí 9 meses,
9
diría
meses.
yo,
Ya lograste
me
tener
están dando la
tu-
residencia.
o sea,
Sí,
la
y
carta
gracias a esta chica que me está ayudando, que
Karo.
no es, exacto, es una asesora legal, ¿no? Que me ayudó en el proceso. Y digo que cuando este tipo de cosas y uno se viene solo, vale la pena cada centavo que tú pagues a un abogado para que te haga eso, porque aquí la verdad es que te ponen muchas trabas, no hablan inglés, es muy complicado todo el proceso, y siempre es bueno tener a alguien que te ayude, alguien que sepa, alguien que te traduzca, etcétera. Y coño, que cueste lo que cueste, vale la pena cada centavo, porque bueno, aquí estoy, ¿no?
Vale la
Apliqué
pena.
y me lo dieron, ¿no? Solo apliqué varias veces, me la negaron, me deportaron, todo eso lo hice solo, ¿no? Entonces, bueno, esos son mis resultados, ¿no? Cuando traté de hacerlo por mi cuenta, imposible. Y nada, loco, aquí estoy ya,
Feliz con tu residencia.
soy un hombre libre, por así decirlo, después de 6 años.
Ahora bueno, como se dan cuenta, no es un asunto imposible. De hecho, Moisés, tú eres venezolano completamente, ninguna raíz europea
Bueno, no,
o algo así.
Soy colombiano también. Papá
Es
colombiano.
colombo venezolano.
Soy veneco.
Ajá,
De hecho-
ese es el verdadero veneco,
De
venezolano
hecho, yo
colombiano.
estoy aquí como documentos pues, colombianos.
Ok,
Que
entonces
también es más fácil, ¿no? Porque también con los venezolanos, bueno, ya sabemos cómo está la situación y es un pedo conseguir pasaporte, etcétera. Y dije, no. Yo salí de ese
aplicaste como
peo,
colombiano.
apliqué como los colombianos.
O sea que
correcto.
básicamente para cualquier latino que tenga la opción de venir acá a entrar sin visa, sí es posible, pero es un proceso bastante largo y bastante tardado,
Correcto.
¿no?
Y también depende de cuestión de suerte, la verdad. Conozco personas en mi situación que tienen muchos años intentando y después de mucho tiempo lo logran. Y conozco gente que llega y a los 5 o 6 meses tiene su vaina, ¿no? Es cuestión de suerte. Lo mismo con el trabajo. Aquí hay mucho trabajo en español, en inglés, que no necesariamente necesitas tener educación académica.
Para obtener esto. pues.
Sí, exacto, pero es cuestión de suerte. En mi caso, ¿no? Yo estudié biología en la Universidad del Zulia. Soy músico también. Aquí me ha costado muchísimo conseguir trabajo. Tengo amigos que lo que hacían era jugar LOL, y llegaron y consiguieron, ¿no? Es cuestión de suerte.
Bueno, Moisés, muchísimas gracias por tu experiencia. Y bueno, ya saben, dejen en los comentarios cualquier cosa que quieran saber. Como Moisés, como yo, no es imposible venir a vivir acá y hacer una vida acá en Polonia, aquí en Europa. Well, Karo, thank you so much for all these details, all this help to the people in Latin America. We really appreciate that.
I will try to help as much as I can, always. So if I can offer something for you, maybe whoever is interested to come to Europe, get a legal job or whatever, guys, you can ask in the comments to this video and I'll be there, okay? I'll be visible there in these comments. I will follow and I will respond to all your questions. At least this is the way I can help. And I hope we will get your resident card.
Oh, for sure. I'm waiting for that. Bueno, mis queridos amigos, muchísimas gracias por su tiempo. Como lo dice Karo, todo el que esté interesado en estos más detalles, posteen en los comentarios. También vamos a dejar algunos links para esto. Y bueno, muchísimas gracias por su tiempo. Bye bye.
Espera, nos vemos pronto.